Hey fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertantonnyc.com, coming to you with your no-frills commentary from a singer. Tonight we are watching The Voice. It was the semifinals, the top 8 performed, and let me tell you what's going to happen with this thing here. This is how it's going to work. Okay, the top 8 are going to sing tonight, or they sang tonight already. Then the judges are going to score the artists. They're going to get 100 points, and they have to split it between their 2 artists. Then America is going to vote, and then they'll add the judges' scores to America's vote, and 4 will go home, 4 will be staying. 1 on each team is staying, 1 is going home, and then we will have the finale next week. I'll be in China next week, so I don't know if I'm going to see the finale with you guys or if I'm going to be, making a video for the finale. But if not, make sure you let me know what happened. Make sure you hit that Twitter, because when I come in from wherever we are, I'll be checking my Twitter to see what happened. And to the performances, we started out with TeamAdam. Tony Lucca did How You Like Me Now by The Heavy. He dropped the guitar for what I call a Pimp and His Girls production. The vocal was very nice, and his dancing not so much. I like the intensity he brought, but the chorus didn't really go anywhere, so I didn't think that it did him any favors. TeamBlake was up next with Erin Willett doing Without You by Guetta featuring Usher. It started out way too low. I mean, it was just like she was literally, I can't read. And I was like, oh God, that means that she, had to pull the key down, and maybe she had to put it so far down so she can hit these big top notes, right? Get to the top, and she still was not hitting her top notes very well. Some of them were going flat, and a lot of times she was choosing an optional note instead of going up. So like at one point it goes da 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 da, she goes da 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 instead of going da 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 da. So I was like, no, why did you even take it down? Why do you choose a song? Song choice again. Why do you choose a song if you can't hit the notes, even after you change the key? It doesn't make any sense to me, and that may very well do her in. It was an emotional performance for her, but for me, it was all about you're not even hitting the notes, and you pulled this all the way down. It just didn't work. It was a nice arrangement of the song, but again, like I said, it didn't fit her voice. And the coaches didn't really call her out on any of these problems that she was having with the melody and all that. So next up, TeamXtina had Mann doing Ave Maria, getting back to his roots, doing some little opera. And I was getting goosebumps, let me tell you, while he was singing in rehearsal. And they didn't stop while he was performing. It was just, he has such a perfectly beautiful voice, especially when he's doing this opera. It is just so gorgeous. There's no other way to explain it. The song was emotionally delivered, and it was done very well. I'm not sure how the voters are going to take the language thing though, but just from the sound and the way he presented this song, and most people know this song, they're familiar with it. So I think that, I don't know who's going to stay and who's going to go, but he really blew this out of the water. And Katrina came up on the stage and gave him a hug. Next up, TeamCeelo had Jamar doing If You Don't Know Me By Now, originally by Melvin and the Bluenotes. I was liking this rendition a lot. He did his own thing, and his voice sounded good as usual, and he had a good connection to the audience. I just love his movements when he's performing. The song is all throughout his body. He grabs hold of the song and the stage and the audience and just performs. And if I was, say, talking and I'm doing this, and he was just into it. He just brought everything that I thought that it deserved. It was great. And he had me giggling when he was getting all excited while the coaches and stuff were giving him his comments. He was jumping up and down and everything. And just such 30 years old, but I still say such a respectful young man. He's just, thank you, sir. And, I appreciate that, man. And, it was just, he's just the boy next door to me, it seems like. Just an infectious, I wrote just an infectious energy. Of course, we were due for some production numbers tonight. And first up, we had TeamCeelo and TeamAdam join up to do the Killers, All These Things I've Done. Juliet starts out the festivities, and followed by Katrina, Jamar, and Tony. They all had time to shine, and they all made the most of their moments, and they sounded good singing together. Also, I thought it was a really good mix. Kudos to whoever was running the board. They all sounded, on an even keel, and they had very, very nice harmonies. But, it wasn't like, this one came in and it was way up here, and this one came in and it was way down here. Even though the voices have a different amount of volume and stuff, they had it right there in balance, and I really enjoyed enjoyed, made me enjoy it even more. TeamBlake came up next with Jermaine Paul singing Open Arms by Journey. And this was a really risky song choice for him, in my opinion, because he seems to have more trouble getting to that light and sweet part of his voice. He's really good in the power area, but not so much in the tender and vulnerable part. So I was kind of worried with him on this one. I thought he did good balancing it on this though, and I enjoyed it mostly. I think at some points when he was lighter, I still was wanting a little bit more finesse, but he did very well. I thought he did very well. TeamAdam was up next with Katrina Parker doing Killing Me Softly by originally Roberta Flack. They said she did the Lauryn Hill and the Fugees arrangement. I like how she sounded, but I really didn't feel like this was the kind of song she'd be performing, she'd be recording. So it's just kind of like a one-off for me. Her voice sounded nice, but it didn't fit her style or her look or anything. They had a light show going on in the background that was nice though. Yeah. So, you know, for what it was, I thought it was okay. The judges were kind of gushing over it. I wasn't feeling it like that. And Blake Shelton performed his new single, Over. And I was like tripping. He has 11 #1 singles, and I'd never heard of him before The Voice, ever. Of course, I'm not a country fan listener. I'm not a country a radio station listener. So, but 11 #1 singles, I would have think that I would have heard something of him before The Voice, but I hadn't. And I was like, wow. So I really liked the quieter parts and the more sedate parts of this song. He seemed distracted and angry during the bigger, rougher parts. But whatever. The other judges, I wrote, the other judges didn't seem impressed when the camera cut to them. So for the performers, TeamXtina was up next with Lindsey Pavao. She did Skinny Love by Iver. She picked up the guitar for this one, and though she sounded okay, I wasn't really a fan of this performance. Her voice, for me, may just be one of those that's appealing to only a certain people, because I was like, I thought she sounded solid enough. She didn't have any major gaffes or anything. I just wasn't feeling the sound that was coming out. You know, it just wasn't exciting me. I wasn't really liking it. Christina also came up on stage to give her a hug. Did you enjoy this performance? Do you like her sound? And do you think it's something that, you know, only like maybe certain people will like and others just might not like it? Next up, we had TeamXtina and TeamBlake get together to do Edge of Glory by Miss Lady Gaga. Jermaine started this out powerfully, just really big, just really did it well where he was, where he lives. Then Erin came in and she tripped over her words and messed up a little bit. Lindsey came in, who sounded out of tune to me. Then Mann came in, you know, brought it back up a little bit. Again, it was just a very nice blend on the harmonies. I really enjoyed their performance all together, even though separately, it just, their styles and stuff just didn't match at all. I think that's what it was for me. And you could really tell the big differences as each came in on their part. TeamCeelo was up next with Juliet Sims in the last spot. She did It's a Man's World by James Brown. And this had a lot of holler and wail to it, I wrote. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because she has such good control over what's going on in her voice. So when she was doing the wail part, you know, when she easily worked back down into the really light, nice, prettier sections, she did great on this, and it was very enjoyable. When she finished, the audience was raucous. Like, they were just going crazy at the end for a while, you know, trying to calm them down, and it just wasn't happening for a little while. Very, very nice performance. I really enjoyed it. Oh, I can't choose as far as the performances between her and Jamar. I'm crazy about Jamar's performance skills and stuff, but I really like her too, so that's gonna be a really hard one for me. The others, I don't know, but that one right there, oh my God. So tomorrow night, the finalists from last year will be coming back to perform. Also, Kid Cudi will be there, Cyndi Lauper, and they said many more. And so they're trying to have a big show tomorrow night. So check in, see what's going on. Check in with me for the results show. Here I'm Robert Anton, robertantonnyc.com. I'm out. Peace.